It's the Zone 96.3 where everything rocks on a Wednesday and a big concert tonight at the pub station. Josey Scott's Saliva is in town, and happy to announce that Josey Scott is here. Hey, man, how you doing?
What's going on, brother?
Just excited that you came all the way to the studio. Most of these are always phone calls, but you managed to make it back in. It's been a while since you've been back in town.
Yeah, dude, of course. I love Billings, Montana. I've got a lot of history here, as we were talking about.
We were just talking right before. He's describing to me a club owner downtown, and finally I got to the point. I'm like, that's Casey's Golden Pheasant. And
yeah.
That place is still there. It's not called Casey's Golden Pheasant anymore, but anybody that's been in Billings longer than 15 years definitely knows the name. And you were telling me you played with your first band there.
Yeah, Blackbone. Yeah, we played there several times. I think we started coming here in like 92, 93.
That's wild.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I was maybe in middle school.
That's just insane,
So
man.
you've been at it a long time. Of course, this tour is the 25th anniversary of Every 6 Seconds, which is kind of the thing that made it for you big time, right?
Yeah, the other end of the pendulum, man. It's just we're just really fortunate and blessed to have come this far, and be able to celebrate a storied legacy and career like Saliva has had, and it, being in a band with the late Wayne Sweeney, the late great Wayne Sweeney, God rest his soul, and Chris DeBaldo and Dave Novotny and Paul Crosby, and get to write those hits with a great producer like Bob Marlette, and to have that first album experience that I don't think a lot of bands get to have.
What was that like?
Kind of experience.
I'm sure you were in your younger years. That's probably all you wanted, right? Was that record contract?
Yeah, I had been at it long enough to know that getting the record contract was the starting gun.
Right.
When you're coming up, you're taught that getting the record deal is the finish line.
That's the end, right? Yeah.
And it's so not. That's when the starting gun went off. And thank God we were kind of minded in that fashion that's when everything takes off. And we were wide open, dude, buck wild.
Yep.
And Bob Marlette came along, and he taught us how to harness that material and harness that power, and
maybe behave a tiny bit.
Yeah, to behave and to do it in an educated way, and to not just put our heart and soul in it, but put our mind into it and our bodies into it. And our songwriting, the craft of songwriting, and what the American pop song sounds like. He taught us that.
The American pop song. Because I think of you guys as maybe one of my first introductions to, like, I guess they call it new metal or whatever now, right?
Sure.
But does it seem like 25 years now?
It doesn't seem like 25 years. It seems more like about 10 or 12.
Uh-huh.
But as my mother would say, God rest her soul, I'm perpetually arrested emotionally at about 17.
I think I kind of am too.
So time doesn't really exist to me. I'm 55 or 54 now, but I'm still mentally about 17 or 18.
Well,
so.
man, you were pretty young then when you guys launched into stardom.
Yeah.
You were like early 20s then, probably?
Yeah, mid-20s. And had been doing it, like I said, in Blackbone, there in Memphis and regionally, and then, being lucky and fortunate enough to come all the way out to Billings.
I love Memphis. That's one of my favorite cities ever.
I do too. I got married at Graceland. I love Memphis. I love the food. I love the people. I love it all.
The girl I took to Memphis, to Graceland, went the way of Priscilla, so...
Oh yeah.
So I don't have that, but a very cool spot. Yeah. You got after that, then you did the Spider-Man thing, which was huge. That was kind of where I learned your name. I was like, because I was on the radio at that time, and I was like Josey Scott and
Chad Kroeger
from Nickelback, and I was like, who's this guy? And I was like, oh, that's right, he's the guy from the the harder band.
Yeah.
That song didn't really match what I knew from you.
Yeah, you know,
Gave you massive success.
absolutely. You know, Chad wanted to, at the time, he was like interested in doing a heavier song, like another Click Click Boom or whatever. And I was like, man, you know what? I was like, wouldn't it be cool though if we stretched our creative legs and went the exact opposite direction?
Yeah, because you were both pretty hard bands at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, well, I got this song and the guys don't think it's a Nickelback song. And I was like, well, play
The
it.
Saliva guys don't think it's a Saliva song.
Right. I was like, so play it for me. And he played me, you know, the nuts and bolts of Hero. And I was just, my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah, it was a great song.
Such a great
It was a great
songwriter.
time. What's your favorite song to do live? Because are you doing like the whole album, or are you just doing bits and pieces of it?
We're doing about 95% of the album.
Okay.
There's a couple songs on there that are really personal about my father's death, and
Sure, you've had some
that
loss.
have you know, my son that I lost to COVID in 2021. So we probably won't be doing, if you're a Saliva fan, My Goodbyes.
Okay.
But we will be doing the rest of the record. And
Awesome.
we're excited about that. But yeah, my favorite song to do live, I think Always is always
that's a great
a main staple for me, because I wrote it for women. I wrote it for women that have been in abusive relationships, and
Yeah, it's got a great message.
I grew up watching women in abusive relationships, and always wanted to do something about it and do something for women that were in relationships like that. And Always was my offering in that direction. And I wrote the lyrics as if I'm singing from the point of view of the woman,
Right.
which I thought was really kind of creative.
Yeah, that's super cool. I know that in your guys' heyday, you were on tour with just about everybody.
Everybody.
I mean, you got just ridiculous
Stupid.
tours. What was your favorite tour?
Well, the Kiss Aerosmith tour.
That's what I was gonna. I was gonna bring that up first, and then I thought maybe I'll ask him what because maybe I don't know if Gene was a real, you know.
No, he was a sweetheart, man.
Yeah.
Paul was a sweetheart. All those guys were really sweet. Peter, Chris.
Oh, you got to meet Joe Perry.
Yeah, got to meet Joe.
That's a bucket list of mine right there for sure.
You know, those guys were, you know, our mentors and just sweethearts and so kind and accommodating to us. And yeah, as John Bon Jovi says, it don't get no better than that.
You know John Bon Jovi too?
I've met him. Yeah, we were label mates. He was
yeah, I
on the
suppose you
island
were,
that
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Oh, that's badass. The 25th anniversary tour, Every 6 Seconds, is happening tonight at the Pub Station. There are still a few tickets available. You can get those at thepubstation.com or the Pub Station Tap Room, 2502 First Avenue North. We always remind people, don't buy them from scalpers on Facebook or whatever, because there's no guarantee that you're going to get in. You're going to pay like 4 times as much. So just go to the source, get the real tickets. It's going to be... it's going to be awesome. Josey Scott Saliva, Pub Station, 8 o'clock tonight. I think doors open at 7. Man, it's great to finally meet you. I don't know how I missed meeting you all these years, because I've been on the radio for 25 years in this town, and you've been coming here for half of my
Forever.
life. So finally I get to be in the studio with you.
It's
so
a pleasure to
appreciate
meet you
coming
too,
by,
brother.
man.
Heck yeah.
All
My
right,
pleasure.
Josey Scott, thank you very much. Have a great show tonight.
Thank you, brother.